Over the last 3 years, I've spent hours and hours in my studio learning music production by watching an enormous amount of tutorials on YouTube. But in this video, I'm going to save you time and energy of having to identify the good ones from the bad ones by sharing the best 10 YouTube tutorials I've ever watched. Now, these are based on my personal experience and which videos have had the most impact on my skills and my journey. I organized them in a progressive order, and to make it more practical for you, you will find all the videos linked in the description, plus you will have timestamps right over here if you want to find the topics that interest you. Additionally, if you want to structure your learning of music production, I have a little something for you, but I will talk about it later in the video. For now, let's get into it. So the first thing I did was to look for a from start to finish tutorial so I could see exactly how it works and what it takes to make a song from scratch. I wanted to see the whole process, uncut, step by step, so I could follow it and recreate it in my DAW. For this, the best I found to this day is the video Making a Tropical House Track with Vocals from Scratch on FL Studio by Luke Bergs. The reason I love this one is mainly because of this. 3 hours and 40 minutes. It is literally a masterclass. There is no speaking, it is just a screen recording of Luke producing the whole song. I absolutely loved it because it showed me the whole process uncut without leaving anything on the table. There are also chapters in the video so that you know exactly what he does and what step he's at. Now, the way I used the video was to just watch one thing that he was doing, for example, making the chords. Then I was stopping the video, going into my DAW to make my own, and then only coming back to the video to continuing it. Granted, it maybe took me 2 weeks to go through the whole video, but at the end of it, I had my very first song, a pretty decent one as well, but most of all, a strong understanding of everything it takes to make a song from start to finish. So if you are struggling to make your own song or finishing a song on your own, I highly recommend this one. The second best video I've ever watched is the Learn Music Theory in Half an Hour by Andrew Hong. Now, don't run away, hear me out. Have you ever had someone recommending you a song because the mix was great? Well, if you have producer friends, maybe, but otherwise, no regular listener has ever said that. They share songs that have a meaning, have a story, are catchy, have emotions, and you achieve this by having at least the basics of music theory. Plus, if you're a beginner, it'll help you make sure that all your elements in your song are in key and sounds good together. The reason I love this one is because, first off, Andrew explains the concept really easily and very simply, but most of all, it's because it gives you some practical exercises to practice what you learn and internalize the concepts. I remember putting them into actual practice every morning or so when I ran into this video, and in the end, it actually helped me to get even better at playing piano. So yeah, if you want one video about music theory, make it to be that one. Alright, so now that we have a strong knowledge of the basics, let's talk about the skeleton of your song, aka the chord progression. I know a lot of you struggle to make good chord progression. Well, look no further, just watch this one. You'll never make a bad chord progression again after watching this by Arcade. During the video, he shows you how to go from a very basic chord progression to a beautiful result full of emotions using very easy techniques. Honestly, since I watched this video, my chord progressions get 10 times better, and it gave me all the tools that I can use to go from a basic to advanced chord progression. Now, before I reveal my all-time favorite video, I have something to ask you. I know that starting to produce music can be very overwhelming when there are so many resources available to us online. Have you ever wondered what you should learn first, or how do you put in practice what you just learned in that video? All those are struggles that I ran into in the past myself, which I now have the answers to. So in order to help you organize your learning and cut through the noise of the thousands of YouTube videos available online, I created a whole roadmap or curriculum for you that includes the only 60 YouTube videos you'll ever need to watch in the correct order. I also added more than 45 action steps in between each of the videos so you can put in practice what you learn, always knowing what to do to progress and become a good music producer. If you were looking for something like this to guide you in your learning of music production, then there will be a link in the description for you to grab a copy. So now, my all-time favorite video. It is one from Blanks called My Instagram Followers Write a Song to Cry To. Well, this is just the title to make it interesting to non-music people, but in real, it is a gem. It's not as technical as your typical music producer tutorial, but rather is more about showing the whole workflow, focused more around the storytelling and the songwriting. As music producers, I found that we can often get lost into the production aspect of a song and completely lose track of the meaning of it and the reason why we are making this song. And this video is a great walkthrough of what producing a song should look like. It's not the only videos of his like this, by the way. His channel is full of it, so I highly recommend that you check them out. Alright, now let's go back to more producer video with how to make any sound you want in Vital by MHA. If you are looking to understand some basics about sound design so that you can make better presets, better sounding instruments in your tracks, this one's for you. He also has the other same video for Serum, but because Vital is a free synth, I picked picked this one. So in the video, he goes on and shows you what every section and knob does in a very understandable way, and then goes on to show you how to build a bass, respace, presets, chords, pad sounds, or even leads and plugs. What I enjoyed a lot about this video is that after watching it, I felt confident enough to go ahead and tweak some presets to make them sound exactly like I wanted to, which opened up a lot of new possibilities for my songs. Now, speaking about making great sounds also goes with mixing, which I know is quite an intimidating topic at first. And if you struggle to get a good sounding mix, then this video, The Secrets to a Balanced Mix by Mix with Jerry, is what you need. There is a lot of talking, but it will genuinely make you understand the reasons why behind what we do in mixing. All you need to get your song from a beginner sounding level to a very decent mix is to take care of the volume levels, EQ, and panning, which are the 3 topics he covers in this specific video. He also goes on and mixes a song track by track, which is making it very practical. Another struggle I see a lot of music producers run into, which I did as well, is to get the right mixing on the vocals. And for that one, I just watched the vocal processing in FL Studio by In The Mix and never needed to watch another video on that topic. It's honestly just that good. To this day, this process is the exact same one that I use on all my songs. Now, heads up, if you're a beginner intermediate, it is quite technical and it took me a good 2 or 3 times watching it until it was like drilled in my brain, but it's definitely worth it. Now, in the realm of the music production tips and tricks, I think there's nothing better than the 69 producer hacks in 420 seconds by Memphi. This one is a gem. Short, straight to the point, no fluff, there isn't even an intro. My advice is just to watch it as many times as you need, pick up a few tricks to try in your next production, and over time you'll add these tricks naturally to your production process. One of the best ways to learn music production, in my opinion, is to watch professional artists produce a song, which is why the next video on the list is a live stream replay from Illenium and SaidTheSky when they were producing Crazy Times. And to be honest, it is amazing to watch. Obviously, because it's alive, it's a bit slower, but it's worth the watch just because you can see their whole process uncut once again and pick up a few tricks, see how they collab together. I remember I was taking notes as well while I was watching it, so that's a good tip for you. Now, unfortunately, we don't get to see the whole production process because it obviously took way more studio sessions for them to finish the song, but it's still worth the watch. Lastly, making music is great, but making music that is heard by thousands of people is way better. And on the topic of music release, the best video I've ever watched is the How to Release a Single in 2023, the 23-day plan by Damien Keys. Now, yes, it's a longer video, but that's why it's good. He goes extremely in depth for you to create a whole 23-day release plan, giving you exact actions, exactly what to do each day of the plan to make sure you'll have a successful release. You can even download the whole PDF version for free, which includes checklists as well. And speaking of release, you can watch this video next where you will learn the 4 ways to actually promote your music in 2023. But in the meantime, keep learning and I'll see you in the next one.